we're going to be heading over to my pond again and driving my RC car. I just put a brand new transmission in it, so I'm kind of excited to try it out and see exactly how well it works. I know a lot of vehicles with new transmission. These vehicles just work really good, so I'm excited to see how it works. So yeah, just come along with me, and we're just going to drive around. I'm also going to treat this a little more like a Q&A for some of you guys. If you guys have any questions after the live stream is published, you guys can ask them, and I will definitely answer for you guys. But yeah, this will be exciting. This will be way more relaxed. I like to have more relaxed live streams, so we're just going to kind of make it a little bit more relaxed and just have fun. So that's kind of the point of this live stream. I'm just driving over to the pond right now. We'll be there in probably less than 5 minutes, so don't you guys worry. And then when we get out, I'll show you the truck that I'm working on. I definitely put a lot of work into this truck. It's funny, I actually tried to upgrade the drive line and drive shafts, actually, and they're actually worse. Metal drive shafts are actually a lot worse. Part of it was just loose. Even though it said it was made for the car, it was just kind of loose and just rattling around underneath there. So probably not a great idea, but nevertheless, I took them out and replaced them again with plastic drive shafts. And right now, all is good. We got a new transmission. While we have fixed one car, my F-150 is fixed. Now I need to go and fix my FMS RC car. I was just having some really bad issues with reverse. I'm not sure what's going on. The transmission shouldn't be having any issues, but I just couldn't reverse. I know with these cars, sometimes if you turn on the car before the controller, it has issues, and that is what happened. These are the only cars I've really had issues like that. With a Traxxas car, if you actually go and turn on the car before you turn on the controller, the RC cars don't actually, if you wait long enough, the RC cars don't actually run. They just won't connect with the controller, so then you have to restart it. But ultimately, I think that might be the issue. If that's not the issue, then it needs a new transmission. So I'm just going to drive down this really bumpy road for a few minutes, and then, yo, what's up? How's it going, guys? Yeah, so we're almost to the pond, and then I'll pull out my RC cars for you guys real quick. Yeah, I'm honestly just hoping this can be more relaxed live stream. I don't want to do anything crazy. I just kind of want to chill and hang out. We're going to drive my RC car around a little bit, and then it'll be pretty fun. So I've started to learn. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna pull up here real quick. I want to make sure that I'm focusing on driving instead of the live stream. So give me a second here. All right, we're just pulling up. All right, what did you say here? He said stop talking while driving. Yeah. If I am going to talk while driving, I'm going to make sure to just quickly look at the questions and then just quickly glance at it and look back at the road. So I am staying safe. All right, give me a second here. I'm going to get my cars out for you guys. All right, so you guys shall see in just a minute. So give me a second while I grab a few things here. Okay, I've got my stuff. Now, honestly, live streaming out here is really nice. I like live streaming out here. Okay. This is the RC car that I'm taking out to live stream with today. It's pretty exciting. Where are you from? I won't give you any other. I'm not going to tell you anything other than the fact that I am from the United States. I'm not going to say anything else. Yeah, sorry, but I just won't. As far as my privacy goes, so I just want to make sure that I'm not sharing anything as far as that goes. But yeah, so this is the RC car we'll be running today. Mostly custom. I've got a lot of custom parts on this thing, and today is kind of a windy day, so we're just going to see how today pans out technically, but yeah, so I'm excited to get it out here. All right, so first off, we do a lot of tests over in this area, so we're going to test it right here. We use this little section right here for our first few tests, so all right, here we go. We gotta get everything turned on, and I'm gonna set up my selfie stick real quick so you guys can actually view it. All right. So, yeah. So like I said earlier, I kind of want this to be more of a laid back, just kind of a fun stream. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, there we go. It's all set up, and we're gonna get this car running real quick. So always turn on the remote before the car. Just for you guys' information. It's always something you have to do. It's very, very important. Okay, so, all right. Also, it is kind of cold out here, so I'm not gonna do a super long live stream. But, all right, what did you say here? Okay, all right. So right now, let me show you guys the transmission I just put in here. Just spamming that message over and over again. Okay. All right, give me a second, real quick. I gotta button up my coat. It is actually quite cold out here, so. And don't expect a super long live stream because it's so cold. It is going to be more chill, less. So, all right. So right here, I'm not sure how well you guys can see. Underneath here, there's a switch for the transmission. Right now, I've got it on the lowest setting, so we're just gonna go in low gear and then try this out. I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer though, so you can actually see what's going on. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna start in low gear and then see where we get from there. Low gear is honestly OP, guys. Honestly. There we go. Oh, this car is cooking with low gear. This car is cooking with low gear. We haven't actually had any other cars make it this far. And now we've kind of lost it. There we go. I'm trying to get it flipped over without having to go over there and flip it back over. I might just have to. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to now. Alright, so we'll do a little bit more crawling in the low gear transmission, and then we'll go up to high gear, and then see how much better this thing actually is. But honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys, low gear transmission is just absolutely overpowered. I mean, it is just incredible how much of a difference it actually makes. Now, sometimes it's not the gears as much as it is the tires. So sometimes you just have to find the correct line. This line obviously isn't working very well, so we're gonna try a different line here. This line seems to work good. We're gonna go off to the side here and try something. We're gonna try something risky. Yeah, like I said, it was gonna be risky. Let me go flip it over and see how far we can make it. Oh my goodness. I'm absolutely shocked. Okay, even though it fell, I'm absolutely shocked with this vehicle. I did not expect it to do that. Like that, I haven't had any car get even close to that. All right, so first off, we're gonna start talking about some pros and cons with this vehicle real quick. I'm gonna turn it around here so you guys can see me. All right, so pros and cons with this vehicle. Now, when you first buy the vehicle stock, this vehicle needs some upgrades. Okay, so the first upgrade this vehicle obviously needs is a new transmission. As soon as you get this vehicle, obviously needs a new transmission. Transmission is not great. Also, as soon as I got the vehicle, I removed 4 shocks. There's actually a set of 8 shocks on this vehicle. Hang on, I'm gonna drive over to me real quick, and I'll hold it up while I'm talking about it. So stock, you get this vehicle with 8 shocks. I removed 4 of them because I actually do not need 4 shocks. Okay, so I only have 4 in total instead of 8. An extra 8 shocks just adds too much. You don't want too much of that. It's just too much. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, there's a certain word I'm looking for, and I just can't quite get it. You want it to be able to flex in certain areas, and having 8 shocks is just not necessary. You absolutely do not need 8 shocks for this vehicle. So I took off 4. I put a new set of tires on it. So these tires are a different set of tires. They were fully assembled. I bought them off Amazon for like $40. The tread on these tires is really good. All right. Also, the next thing you should upgrade as soon as you get this vehicle is also transmission. Because I just put in the transmission and just tested it, having a better transmission, well, a 2-speed transmission, is absolutely incredible. It's almost necessary in these Traxxas vehicles to have a 2-speed transmission. So if you guys are kind of curious, what does a 2-speed transmission actually cost? It honestly just costs $50. $50 for a new transmission. Funny enough, it's actually like $119 for a new motor. You do not need to buy the motor. The transmission is all set up by itself. As soon as you pull out the transmission, all you have to do is install it in the vehicle and it's good to go. And it honestly took me less than 30 minutes to install the transmission. I had it installed. I went and took it out, drove it around, and this thing is absolutely incredible with 2-speed. All right, so for some of you guys saw at the start of the stream that we tested it on a low speed transmission. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to go and flip it to high speed. And let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to take off the body so you guys can actually see. Right here, can you guys see it? Okay, yeah, right there. There's a little lever, a little tiny lever right here. All you have to do is flip this back for a high speed and then flip it forward for a low speed transmission. So we just tested our low speed transmission. Let's test the high speed transmission. And honestly, the next part of this test is just going to be how long it's going to last. I'm really hoping this thing will last a long time. So, all right, let's go test it real quick on the exact same spot I was just testing it, and let's see how well it performs. All right, so this is on high speed transmission setup. So first of all, I'm struggling a lot. It's struggling to just respond to the remote on high speed transmission. Okay, hold up. I was wondering if this might be a battery issue. I think it's not. Here, let me drive it. Let me try it on like flat terrain, and then we'll see how it does there. It's obviously not doing well on the hill. This vehicle is very fast on the high-speed transmission setup, which I like. Okay, I like being able to switch between fast and slow. When you switch between slow really helps you to get up steep, slippery rocks, whereas a faster transmission allows you to honestly just kind of show off your vehicle a little bit and go fast. Faster transmission is better for like flat land like this. This is a little bit rocky, but it's mostly flat. If I try it with a bunch of big bumps and stuff, it's not going to perform super well. So this definitely is something worth investing in. For $50, it's really just worth it. I mean, it's something I would recommend for anyone. If you're going to have a car like this, get a high-speed, low-speed transmission. For only $50, it's honestly, and it doesn't take a lot of work to install it. So if this is something you're maybe interested in, this is definitely... Now, one thing for sure, it definitely is difficult. So this transmission set, you can't really run this transmission set well with portal axles. Okay, so if I was to get new portal axles, and this brand new transmission set, it might actually be kind of difficult. So they do include an extra gear in the transmission set. When you buy the transmission set, they include one extra gear in case you're running a portal axle setup. So what I would do, because I have two Traxxas cars, a Ford F-150 and a Bronco, what I would do is exactly what I'm doing right now. Is I put a high low speed transmission in this vehicle, and for my other vehicle, my Bronco, I'm going to put a portal axle setup on my Bronco so I don't have to worry about putting the extra gear in. If you are running a portal axle setup with the high low gear speed transmission, you definitely can. That's why they include the extra gear, so you can put that gear in, not have to worry about ruining the portal axle setup. Um, but yeah, this is definitely something I'll consider. All right, so now that we drove on high speed transmission, I definitely had some high speed transmission issues. Right now, the biggest issue is it struggles to actually communicate with the car. Like, I'll pull down the trigger like this, and it doesn't go for a good solid 2 seconds. And you kind of have to. It's not very responsive. Okay, when you switch over to low gear, it's very responsive. Let me bring it over to me real quick, and then I will switch it to low gear. Um, All right, so this is a really good place to stream from. This is working out really good, actually. So let me just show you guys real quick the difference of how responsive it is on high gear and low gear. You guys were seeing before how responsive it was before. It wasn't responsive at all. Okay, now I'm gonna use the trigger here, and as soon as I pull down the trigger, it just goes. I mean, even the lightest little bit, even like this much, it's just so responsive with the low gear. Low gear system on this vehicle makes this just really OP and just really incredible to drive. This becomes really fun to drive when you actually do put a transmission set in it. When it comes stock, there is no low high gear transmission set. This is literally, you have to upgrade it to the way you want. Now, I've done my fair share of upgrades to this vehicle, and this vehicle is a lot of fun. The Traxxas Ford F-150, I was talking earlier on some of my prior live streams um, about how Traxxas cars are actually kind of trash when they come stock. And then I was kind of honestly kind of biased against Traxxas for a little bit. Like, Traxxas just doesn't know what they're doing. When I put a high and low gear transmission in there, it changes the game completely. Now, imagine trying to make a video. For a lot of my YouTube shorts, I try to just like drive slow and try to like make it very cinematic, but it's very difficult to do that when it comes to the stock motor because you can't really control how fast the motor is. The motor with itself, the way it starts out with a higher, the stock motor, it's really difficult to control the speed because it takes a while for the remote to actually kind of connect with the receiver and then send a signal to the remote. With a low gear transmission setup, I don't hardly have to pull the trigger at all, and it just goes. I mean, there's almost no issues here. It's really incredible how powerful a high low gear speed transmission is. And I did have a few issues with this vehicle setting it up. The only issues I had was the drive shaft. I bought some drive shafts from Endura. For those of you who don't know what Endura is a brand. You can buy some cheaper parts. They make RC parts more affordable. But also, with this brand, the RC parts definitely have less quality. So I bought some metal drive shafts from Endura and I tested them out. Um, even though they said they were made for this car specifically, the drive shafts were honestly so much worse than stock plastic drive shafts. I was shocked about this because I thought metal was going to be better. In a lot of ways, actually, plastic is better than metal when it comes to RC. Now, when you have a like 30 mile per hour car, that's different. It's better to have a metal gear in a faster car. These slow cars, you kind of almost have to have plastic gears for it to actually like work really well. Um, but yeah, this is just so satisfying to be able to drive this around on a low gear. And then we've tested it over here on flat ground. We've tested it on this hill over here. So now I'm going to bring it to more of a challenging area. I'm going to go find some really big rocks, and we're going to go and test it on these big rocks and see how well it climbs. Obviously, I've tested this vehicle before on big rocks. So real quick, before we do that, I want to explain a little bit. This vehicle, I've had a lot of ups and downs. Okay, let me just kind of show you guys. I've had a few things happen with this vehicle. I've had a few upgrades. Let me drive it over to me, and then I'll just flip the camera around. It'll make it a lot easier this way. Okay, so, all right, this vehicle right here, I put a lot of upgrades into this. So one is the wheels and tires. Two, we've got the, I was just talking crap about Endura a few minutes ago, but I honestly feel like these Endura high clearance links are the best. So Endura is kind of 50-50 with a lot of their products. Their shocks are not great. They have a lot of products that aren't very good when it comes to Endura. I haven't been pleased with, like I said, their shocks. I don't know how well their motors actually perform. I haven't tried them out yet. I'm a little bit nervous too because they are quite expensive. But anyways, that being said, so I have put new high clearance links down here. I put new wheels and tires, and I put a new transmission set in this vehicle. Before, originally, what I did is I bought some portal axles, front and rear portal axles from AMK. Now, I would definitely recommend for you guys who are watching this, if you guys are planning on doing any upgrades to your RC vehicles, any TRX 4M upgrades, please do not buy from AMK. And the reason I say that is because their portal axles look great. They were $70 portal axles, $70, which isn't cheap, okay? I bought $70 portal axles, and they broke within less than a week. I am not happy with that at all. So, for those of you who may be upgrading your vehicles, just keep that in mind when you go to do that. Again, I've done a lot of upgrades, and I found out what's good and what's bad, mostly because, I've tested this a lot. I've tested this vehicle to, as far as tires go. This vehicle is really hard to find tires that fit this really well. I've only had some issues finding good tires for this. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to set up the stream right here. We're going to try to find a flat space for it real quick, if I can. And then we are just going to let it kind of crawl up these little rocks right here. And then, give me a second here as I'm trying to set this up. I'm using a little tripod, and this tripod is difficult to get a good angle. So let me see here. I'm struggling with it a little bit. Okay. I think we found a good angle, a decent angle there. Maybe. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Okay, I think I've figured it out. Okay. So we're just going to turn the camera a little bit. Right here. Alright, so I'm going to set it right here in the background. And I want to really test how well this thing can do. With this. Oh no, this is set on a low transmission. I've kind of seemed to have gotten it stuck here in this little. I'm gonna try to bring it the other way if I can. It definitely does get stuck on some of these rocks. That's where the high clearance links really come in to help. So okay, that's good. I've got it out of there. Okay, and because it's turned, I'm going to turn the camera this way if I can. I don't want to have to hold it, so. This is kind of a tough spot to film from. I'm just trying to find a good angle for it. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure which angle I'm going to take here. I could take a few different angles. Let's try to back up and then go this way a little bit. Okay, hang on. Okay, we have tumbled a little bit. We can get out of this. I think. No, we're going to have to fix it real quick. I have to get it back up here. There we go. So I could try to make it... Should I go at an angle right here? I think I will. I think I'll go at an angle right here. The place where this really struggles is some of these rocks have good grip. Others do not. Now, some of these are just flat rocks, which make it really, really difficult. Like, this is going to be really hard to get through here. I'm going to have to really try to get a good angle here. I'm trying to not have to go pick it up. Alright. I think I'm just going to have to pick it up real quick. Flip it over. We're just going to give it a little bit of a head start here. We're going to try to get through that gap, and that's going to be the hardest part. This doesn't seem to be catching. Because there's a lot of leaves and sticks in there, it's definitely struggling. Okay, we're going to pull it down from there. That line doesn't seem to be working. We're going to put it right here, and then we're just going to kind of let it run. See how well it can stay there. Okay, so I would say the best shocks for this setup, honestly, is Traxxas shocks. Now, I haven't run a lot of tests as far as shocks go, but I know for a fact that Traxxas makes good shocks. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in this situation. Oh, there we go. Traxxas makes really good shocks. I mean, they're expensive, but the shocks are good quality. I am very happy with the kind of shocks that they make. I'm just trying to get out of this little area that I've got it stuck in. I've got it stuck, so we're just going to pull it out of here. We're just going to give it a little head start right here. But yeah, I think Traxxas honestly is the best. Okay, so we might have just broke something. I hope not. We're going to pull it out and check it. Okay. We might actually have broken something. This might also be a battery issue. So, I'm going to pull out the battery, and then I'm going to put in a brand new battery. Real quick, I'm going to turn it around. I don't want to have broken something, but I'm going to turn it around real quick, and then I'm going to see if I can get a new battery in here. But now, while we're talking about that real quick, I just want to kind of mention a few things. Traxxas suspension is expensive in a way. I know that they sell the springs separate in these vehicles. Okay, maybe it was a battery issue. Hang on, let me test it real quick. I know that they sell the springs separate in their Traxxas stuff, but that was it. Oh, thank goodness, that was not a transmission issue. All right, we're gonna turn it back around here, and then I'm gonna continue to talk about what I was just originally talking about. I'm gonna put my dead battery in my pocket so I don't lose it. But all right, so we're talking about shocks real quick. So I know that I'm almost for sure certain that Traxxas shocks are the best. As far as price and quality goes, I know that it's good quality. I can tell, I mean, there's a lot of different shocks that I've tried, and I wasn't happy with a lot of them. Okay, we've got a little bit of an issue. I might have actually just completely ruined something. Hang on. I might need to pull this out and test it real quick. No, it's running fine. Yeah, we're gonna run it on the sidewalk real quick just to kind of test it out, see how well it's working. We were just having an issue real quick on those rocks, so. Oh no, it's fine. Okay. So yeah, as far as shocks go, I think Traxxas definitely is the best shocks. I'm not sure for those of you who have been in RC hobby for a while. Let me know what you guys think. What are the best shocks for RC cars? I mean, I'm talking mostly 1/18 scale RC cars. As far as 1/10 scale RC cars go, I don't actually really know how to do a lot of work on 1/10 scale. It's a completely different ball game when it comes to 1/10 scale, a completely different setup. And so I had a Traxxas Ford Raptor that I was working on, and this Ford Raptor, actually, it was good, but I don't know how to do any work on it. And it's a 60 mile per hour vehicle. It works good, except for the fact that I don't know how to do any work on it, and sometimes it does like it breaks a lot. I have to do a lot of work on it. You know what's funny? What I'm seeing, when I put this vehicle on these rocks, it seems like the back wheels aren't spinning. I know they're spinning when I'm driving it. Like, I'm just gonna hold up and check. Oh, never mind. Okay, so let's check this real quick. All right. We've got a broken portal axle gear in the back. All right, well, that would be a good time to end this stream then. I'm gonna have to do some work on this thing. I believe that's a broken portal axle. You know what? Actually, I've realized the more I start to drive this thing on these rocks right here, it actually breaks. A lot of times when you put it in a situation where the tire is stuck and you try to keep pulling the throttle and make it go, it actually just completely ruins the portal axle. So yes, it does drive, but this thing is having issues with the rear portal axle, I believe. So I'm going to have to take this back to the shop and get this thing figured out. But yeah, other than that, I don't think it's a high gear, low gear situation. None of the gears are broken in the transmission. I quite literally think it's just a portal axle, which I know I can buy portal axles for cheap. Let me just check and make sure. If I hold this up and pull the throttle at the same time and the back wheels don't spin, yeah. Okay, it's a portal axle issue. That should be pretty easy to replace. I don't, Traxxas themselves do not sell a single portal axle on their website, but I know I can find one on Amazon, and I have found one before, for like $40 for one portal axle, and it is the original stock portal axle. So, like I said, it still works, it still runs perfectly fine, but it just needs a new portal axle. Just gonna keep nudging it up the hill. All right. I'm gonna get it put away real quick, and then we'll talk more in the vehicle, in the car. What was that? I'm gonna unplug the battery. And then turn off the remote. Alright, so RC cars I'll put away. Let me get this put away real quick. Alright. Alright, so we finished our day of testing the F-150. For some of you guys who just hopped on this live stream, the F-150, the rear portal axle just broke. I had a gear in the rear portal axle that just quite literally just broke, so that's all good. I know how to replace it. It's pretty cheap to replace it. Sometimes this stuff happens. I really actually kind of like working on 1/18 scale cars. The reason why I like working on 1/18 scale cars is because I actually know how to make them work. I know how to fix them. Whereas 1/10 scale cars, that's a completely different story. I have no idea how to fix a lot of 1/10 scale cars. A lot of these 1/10 scale RC cars have a lot of like I said, completely different setup. It's completely different ultimately. But I did just break a rear portal axle on my Traxxas Ford F-150. Sometimes that's what happens when you start testing this stuff out. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of testing and some failure, but ultimately, in the end, I know that those rocks are quite destructive for my car. I was testing on some really big rocks just to kind of see exactly how well my RC car would work. And funny enough, it actually did kind of break it. So I'm not going to keep using those rocks as demonstration anymore, because I know that they tend to break my RC cars a lot. Also, when I was testing my RC car, so originally I set up my RC car with AMK portal axles, and the AMK portal axles, when I was testing it on those rocks right there, that I was just testing it on, those portal axles, the same ones from AMK, I stripped a gear in the rear as well. So I think it is something with those rear, the rear portal axle that really struggles on those really big rocks. I can't quite get over it. I've tested those rocks before. I've tested on those exact rocks, and that hasn't happened. But then again, I also didn't get it stuck like I have before. So it's just kind of learning, one, the correct line to drive your vehicle on. If your car gets stuck in one, jagged rock, and you try to still force it to go up, which is what I did, it will obviously break the rear portal axle. So, all in all, I'm really happy to do these kind of tests on my vehicles. I really like to test my vehicles to like the maximum, see how far they can actually go. And this actually is a really good test. Honestly, even though I broke the rear portal axle, a really good day for testing. And I'm really happy with my decision to put a brand new transmission in that vehicle. If I hadn't put a new transmission in that vehicle, it might be a lot worse. But yeah, right now, I love having a new transmission in that vehicle. It costs like $50. A $50 transmission that does that much work for something, I was super happy with it. Super, super happy. Not displeased with that at all. And to be clear, the transmission still works. I don't have an issue with the transmission, so it's just a portal axle. So I will need to replace the portal axle, but for now, pretty good day in testing. I haven't ever had that RC car. So there was a point in the live stream where I was kind of testing on a certain area. It was kind of a steep, it had some rocks and some dirt in the area, and where there was the rocks and dirt, it just kept slipping and sliding. I couldn't get it up there. And with this new transmission, it has had absolutely no issues climbing up there. I mean, it's been literally quite easy getting it up there. So, I really loved my Axial SCX24 because it had gotten the farthest. But now that I've gotten a new transmission set in this vehicle, in the F-150 that I have, it's honestly my favorite vehicle right now. So I have 6 vehicles. One of them is broken, and I'm sending it in right now to get fixed. And then the other 5 work completely fine, we think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the other 5 work completely fine, no issues. Oh, there's some weird protest going on. Okay. I'm not going to pay attention to that right now. All right, well. Yeah, so I have a Bronco, an F-150, a Stampede. Those are all working. And then my Axial SCX-24, that's working. My FMS is half working. And then my Ford Raptor, 60 miles per hour, it's broken right now. I'm working on getting that fixed. And then, is that all my cars? I think so. Yeah, so those are the cars that need fixed right now. But right now, I'm pretty happy with them. Pretty happy with where we are. Alright, so I'm just pulling up to my house, and I'm going to end the live stream here. Honestly, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching the live stream. For those of you who are really interested in these style live streams, more just kind of laid back live streams, and kind of just like seeing me test my RC cars, don't forget to subscribe, as well as leave a like on the stream. It kind of helps me to know how many of you guys actually like these live streams, and if I should keep doing these live streams. If you guys really enjoy these live streams, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next live stream tomorrow. See ya. Bye.